What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we'll be taking a look at all of the round of 16 matchups. I'll try to give you my predictions and opinions on every single team disputing these knockout stages. So be sure to stay for all of that, but just before moving on, please remember to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. I know you've been enjoying these World Cup videos a lot and I've enjoyed also doing them, so I think there's some kind of relationship here. So good job for you guys, and I'm very lucky to have you. So let's get right into it, and let's start out with France versus Argentina. So like I said already, we're going to start out with France versus Argentina. This is probably one of the biggest matchups here in this round of 16, especially when we take into consideration how big these two teams are. Both have won the World Cup, both have incredible players, but one has the best player in the world. Would that be enough to give Argentina the edge here on this matchup? I'm not sure. I'm really not too sure, because even though we take a look at France individually and how many good players they have on every single position, and even better than Argentina, for instance, in Argentina, the defense, they only have one star, probably world-class center back in Nicolas Otamendi. In France, they have Umtiti, they have Varane, they have even as potential substitutes. They got people like Rami. They got good, decent center backs. Then if we take a look at the right back, Argentina have absolutely nobody. They have Mercado, a center back playing as a right back, while France has people like Benjamin Pavard and also Dribil Sidibe. So we could see there's a very big gap in that what it's Argentina's starting 11 to France's starting 11, especially when we take into consideration every single individual position. However, the thing here is that France has proved us in this World Cup that they're not really that of a collective. They are not really playing as a collective team. We don't see a star performance from now. There isn't any player who's carrying this team or whatever. It's just like there and thereabouts. We saw France getting a good result against Australia 2-1, but I think that was mostly due to the things of the VAR and referee decisions. Then we take a look at France versus Peru, in which Peru actually dominated France in some areas of the game, but France also dominated Peru. So it's quite interesting because France between Peru, there's a huge gap on there as well. If we take a look at France versus Denmark, they draw the game. France didn't even went ahead to try and get the win. So we could see a France team who is not exactly as confident as we may have thought they will be coming into this competition, but I just think that individually they got some very good players, and it's just all gonna come with time until they gel together. Once Didier Deschamps finds that team, finds that collective, finds that perfect formation, those perfect players, I think that we most likely will see the best France. But until now, I don't think they have found it yet. On the other hand, we got Argentina. Argentina are a team which obviously they have scraped through the group stages and got into the round of 16. They obviously beat Nigeria from that goal from Marcos Rojo. But as you see right there, they're a team who are desperate to find those key moments of glory. They went again with Rojo, they got the win. But if you take a look, it wasn't a good performance from Argentina as well. There was a very huge moment when Nigeria also dominated that match. Argentina right now are kind of like scrambled eggs. They're not really anything. They're just there, and they're trying to also play together to find a system. But the thing here is that I don't think Argentina has a defined system they can get to. I don't think Argentina has that goal, that achievement, that possibility, that potential. In the case of France, I think they are. France can get to that team, which is going to be really good. But in the case of Argentina, I think they can't, because I think they will need other players that are not even called up. You will need some other players who are injured, for instance, like Manuel Lanzini. Is that main thing that I think will cost Argentina in the end. And even though I think Argentina has the best player in the world, I think that France will edge Argentina in this one, just because of individual performances and how big the France squad is. When we take a look at, for instance, both of them getting to an extra time, I think France has that extra little bit of edge to just push the game a little bit further, just to have some extra weapons to attack Argentina in the long run. So I think that France will take this one. Okay, moving on to the next round of 16 match, we're going to take a look at Uruguay versus Portugal. I gotta say that this one is kind of very interesting. It's kind of 50-50, because I take a look at other matches and I can find like a clear winner, but in this one it's very hard. But it's only very hard because of one thing, and that is Cristiano Ronaldo. If Portugal didn't have Cristiano Ronaldo, I would argue that perhaps Uruguay has a little bit more than them. I'm not saying that Portugal doesn't have a team, don't get me wrong. Portugal do have a team. I'm one of those guys who think that Portugal is more than just Cristiano Ronaldo. However, I think that in team sense, if we're talking about a collective collective unit, Uruguay is so much better than Portugal. So in that sense, I think that Uruguay just has that extra little bit more. They have a young creative midfield. They have an amazing pair of defenders in Godin and Jimenez. They have a stellar strike force of Cavani and Luis Suarez. While Portugal, they have good overall decent players in every single position, but not exactly world-class talent in any single one of them, except for Cristiano Ronaldo. So in that sense, I think that Uruguay has that extra little bit more just to take this match against Portugal, and I think that Uruguay will win this one and progress to the quarterfinals. Next up on our list, we have Spain versus Russia. This is one which is very, very entertaining because we have the host, which obviously has that mystic surrounding them of being the host, and they may get luck or whatever. But I think that in this World Cup, we haven't seen a incline or a deceiving mystics surrounding the host. I don't think we've seen that thus far. For instance, South Korea, obviously in their own World Cup, they had many luck from the referees and stuff like that. In Russia, I don't think they have that, but they have never faced a really big team like Spain just yet. They faced Uruguay and they lost 3-0, so that really worries me, because we were thinking that perhaps Russia are much better than teams like Saudi Arabia and Egypt, but now that they're facing a huge team like Spain, will they be able to create the same kind of form they had for those two early matches? That's the main thing. I think that too many people are getting away with the first two matches, and to be honest, I'm also getting carried away a little bit, because I think that Russia can get closer to Spain. Let's remember that the last time we saw these two teams face off, I think they ended up 3-3 or 2-2. So in that sense, I think that Russia will have a little bit of a motivator, because they know they can get a result against Spain because they have previously done that. In the case of Spain, I think they're a very good team. They got many players, and I think that Spain has more than enough to win this game, just because of the stellar quality they have in midfield and how their system works. And even though they don't have that manager now, Julian Lopetegui has been sacked, Fernando Hierro has come in, and perhaps he had not changed too much, but I think that with the players they have, it's going to be more than enough to progress to the next stages and get to the round and get to the quarterfinals. With Spain progressing to the next round, we need to take a look at their possible opponents, and that's going to come from either Croatia and Denmark. I gotta say that for me, Denmark has been really a kind of underwhelming team, not by the sense that they are bad or whatever. Some people are going to criticize me here because they obviously eliminated Peru, but I think that, for instance, against France, they got the point because France not attack, didn't Denmark attack. Both of the teams were in a stalemate. I think that against Australia, Denmark got the goal right away, but they fall really easily. They crumbled so fast. Australia really dominated that match, and the same with Peru. They got the counter-attack goal, but after that, I didn't saw too much in the Denmark team that really told me that they have the ability to compete deep in this competition. Peru dominated the match, and even though we lost, and Denmark took more than enough to win this match, I think that Denmark just need that extra little bit more if they want to progress forwards in a competition like this one, especially in the round of 16. I think they need that extra little bit, because I don't see anything from Denmark. I don't see a good argument for them. In the case of Croatia, I see completely the opposite thing. Croatia are a team which beat Argentina, a team which beat Iceland, a team which beat Nigeria, a team which beat absolutely every single team in their group. They're only the second team to have 9 points in the group stages alongside Belgium. They're this team, and against Uruguay as well. They're a team which are very good in every single sense. I think that their defense is kind of good. Their midfield is world class. Their strike force is also very good. So if we take those into consideration, not only they have stellar players, but also they have a good collective team. They have a good system and they know how to play. I think that Croatia will be more... I think Croatia may be a little bit more to handle than what Denmark expect. And I think Croatia will be able to beat Denmark in this one. And Croatia will have more than enough to go to the quarterfinals and face Spain in that amazing match. Okay, that's already one side of the knockout tree done, and now we have to move on to the next one. And in the next one, the first match is going to be Brazil versus Mexico. Can you believe it, guys? Mexico fought so hard. I cannot stress how they fought so hard. And now they get Brazil. They lost against Sweden in the last match, and they just crumbled, and I don't know what happened. And now they're going to go against Brazil with their heads down. because they lost 3-0 against Sweden. It's going to be very hard to see if Mexico can come back from that one and even get a result against Brazil. I just think Mexico has all the arguments to be a good team. But the thing here is that they're not facing any team. They're facing the best team in this competition. They're facing the best team in World Cup history, and that is Brazil. They're facing a team which nobody else wants to face. Mexico, I think that if they were in any other place, they have more. They will have enough arguments to beat any single team in this competition, but except for one, and that is Brazil. I think that in the case of Brazil are just, even though Brazil haven't shown that they're the normal Brazil, I think that here is where they turn it up. I think that here they feel free. I think that here is not the group stages. Here they have to go and win the game no matter what. And in that sense, people like Coutinho, people like Neymar, William, Gabriel Jesus, Roberto Firmino, Paulinho, Casemiro, Fernandinho, Renato Augusto. You see, they have so many good players. They're just going to go there, and I think they're going to get the result against Mexico. I don't think it's going to be as easy as some other people think. I've actually talked with some friends, and they're going to think, and they think that Brazil will beat Mexico easily, but I don't think that. I think they're going to go, they're going to have a difficult match because Mexico are also not going to close down. Mexico are also going to go there, are going to try to beat Brazil because they want to progress to that next round. 20 years, Mexico has not progressed to the runoff, to the quarterfinals. However, unfortunately, I think that they will have to wait 4 more years because I think that Brazil will go to the quarterfinals after beating Mexico. I think that Brazil just has a little bit more arguments in every single position in the field, a little bit more in the collective, a little bit more individually. I think that Brazil just is Brazil and will get the job done and move to the quarterfinals. If Brazil goes through, then they will face either Japan and Belgium. So that's going to be our next matchup to analyze. I think that between Belgium and Japan, this is probably the more one-sided matchup that's going to be out there. However, I also do not think it's going to be really easy for Belgium. Japan has been a team that has demonstrated really good organization in every single position of the field. They're a team which never loses cool, and they're a team that obviously are just focused on one thing, and that is winning the game. I think this Japan squad are really discipline. That's the main word for you. Most Asian cultures, I'm gonna say out there, love discipline, love sticking to the game plan, and love both in game, both like in football and also in real life. Like most people follow the same traits, they follow the same routines, and I think that Japan here are gonna do their same. They're gonna do their work, and they're not gonna close down because they have Belgium. I think they're gonna fight Belgium as they were equal to Belgium. They're gonna go there and give Belgium a fight. However, I think that Belgium, once again, similar to Brazil, they have a little bit more arguments in every single position of the field. However, there's one main thing I need to stress about Belgium. If Belgium doesn't fix that back line, I think that they may struggle a little bit. I think that even though they have big players like Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Kompany, Munier, I think that somebody like Okazaki or even Muto or Osako, they're going to try and take advantage of that because they have a really low center of gravity. They know how to use that agility to come through defenders, and in that sense I think they're going to have a chance there. And if Japan takes the chance and Belgium doesn't react, Japan can knock out Belgium. That's easy how it works here in the World Cup. If you don't fix your mistakes, then you're going to be out. In the case of Belgium right now, I think that Belgium overall, they have shown one of the best performances in the World Cup as for now. And I think that, however, as I praise Japan and as I really uplift Japan, I think that Belgium are going to have more than enough to take this one, and Belgium will progress to the round of Belgium will progress to the quarterfinals, and they will have to face Brazil. Obviously, we take also a look at Belgium players like Hazard and De Bruyne and all of that, and it's really hard not to argue against them, isn't it? 2 more matches to go, and the penultimate of that one is going to be Sweden versus Switzerland. I gotta say that this one, nobody see it coming. This was probably going to be Brazil versus Sweden and Mexico versus Switzerland, or even Brazil, Germany and Mexico, Switzerland. But out of nowhere, Sweden topped that group, and good job for Sweden because now you got a pretty good chance to progress onwards to the quarterfinals. So that's a very good job for Sweden, and I actually think they will. And this is why. Even though Switzerland has more technical players, they have a little more in every single position. They got crazy talents like Chaka, Shaqiri, and most importantly of all, you got that dynamism that not too many teams have. Dynamism, I mean, from going to a defensive unit to an attacking unit. I think that no team has shown that they can do it better than Switzerland in this one. Example, is that goal from Shaqiri in the last minute against Serbia. They were just really good in the counter-attack, and they really know how to stress and push their lines forward. I think that Switzerland are doing that very, very well in this World Cup. We have to praise them for doing that as well. Against Brazil, they were really, really good. So against Switzerland, they have a very good chance of going through. But why I think Sweden are going to go through is that Sweden style of play really adapts to a competition like this one, really adapts to trying to defend your goal, not getting conceded, because the only way of getting eliminated is of conceding goals. If you do not concede a goal, you can push it onwards to the penalties, and that's a 50-50. So in that sense, I think Sweden just has the perfect formula for this World Cup. I think they have that perfect formula to try and do something against Switzerland, and I think that Sweden are going to go through. We saw how Sweden really used that philosophy against Mexico, and it worked wonders. They beat them defending. Sweden beat Mexico defending 3-0. That's how good Sweden are in that sense. And I think that Sweden will try and replicate the same thing they did against Mexico against Switzerland. So Switzerland must be wary. They might try and get the goal in the first few minutes, because if not, they're gonna pay. And I think they will. So I think that Sweden will progress through the quarterfinals. And now, guys, we're gonna take a look at the final round of 16 match, and that's going to be none other than boom, 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 England versus Colombia. I gotta say that I see so many people thinking that England has it easy against Colombia. How many people say that Southgate did the right thing by losing against Belgium so they can progress onwards to the easy side of the competition. And I don't think that. I don't think that England has it easy by any means. I think England are going to have a very, very good shock. They're gonna get surprised about how good Colombia is. Colombia, when they start up and they really play, oh my god, they're strong. They're really, really strong. Let's remember they took Brazil to a very good match last time around. They took I don't know who they took last time around also. They did an amazing World Cup previously, and they always do great in qualifiers. And they're insanely good. They beat Poland 3-0. Like, Poland, get out of my way. I think Colombia are going to be kind of a revelation this World Cup. In the case of England, however, we have to also talk about them, because I don't think England are also as bad as many people think. I think that England have a very strong squad, and the main thing there is that they don't have pressure. England can go to every single match and just play without pressure, because nobody in England is expecting them to do something good in this World Cup. Most people think that they're just here to create a little bit of experience for the next one, because most of their players are really, really young. Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Lingard, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Stones, who else? Harry Maguire, all of them, Pickford, all of them are kind of a young squad, so they're getting here a little of experience, and I think that that can also work in their favor, because they don't have that pressure, they don't have that huge bag to carry on the back. They just have fun. And when you play football, having fun is when you do good. But most importantly also, they know how to take advantages of set pieces. I think that from set pieces against Panama and Tunisia, they've been really, really good. They've really taken the chances, and they know how to create amazing plays from them. So I think that also that may work in the favor of Colombia. But in the case of Colombia are also good from set pieces. We've seen how they managed to win both against Senegal and Poland. Also opening the deadlock with Yerry Mina from a set piece. Juan Fernando Quintero is very, very good. And if James Rodriguez returns in time for this match against England, I think England are going to have it very, very difficult. So in that sense, I think that Colombia will have more than enough to face England. However, if James is not there, I think that England also has their chances and possibilities raises up. Like, they go up by 10% if James Rodriguez is not there. But if James Rodriguez is there, then it decreases by 10%. So it's going to be a 50-50 match. It's probably one of the biggest matches here. The open matches, like for instance Uruguay-Portugal. I think Colombia and England are also going to be very, very insanely good. So we need to keep an eye on those two matches, because they're going to be insane. Anyone could come out of this one, but I have to give it to Colombia, because I think Colombia just, I don't know, I see Colombia more. I think Colombia just has that extra little bit more in talent, in passing the ball and stuff like that can really surprise England. And I think that they are going to carry that momentum forward and beat England to go to the quarterfinals. So Colombia, good done. And England, congratulations, because I don't know. Okay guys, so now to finish it off, I want to give you my predictions quickly of how the round of 16 may go. So we take a look, and I said that Uruguay were gonna beat Portugal, so I'm gonna go like that. So Uruguay beats Portugal. Then I said that Spain will beat Russia. Then I said that France will beat Argentina. Then I said Croatia. I said Colombia. I said Belgium. I said Sweden. I said Brazil. Wow, look at that! All the left-handed side teams win their games. Insane. So if we take a look at this one, Uruguay France, I think that hypothetically, I think that Uruguay could beat France, but I think France just had that little bit of talent, and I really don't know. But I have to give it to Uruguay. I really think Uruguay can go through. Spain against Croatia is quite interesting. I think Croatia can win this one. I'm gonna say Croatia because I think Spain has been really underwhelming. Really, to be honest, between France, Brazil, and Spain, their most underwhelming big team in the World Cup until now, I think, is Spain. And I think Croatia are solid. I really think they're solid, so I think Croatia will win. Brazil, Belgium, I think that Brazil will just have that extra little bit to go through. Sweden, Colombia, I think Colombia will go through. Brazil, Uruguay, I think Brazil. And Croatia, Colombia, I think that, damn, it's insane, this one. We have crazy underdogs in the last round. I think that, who knows, who really knows? I think Colombia could do it. And between Brazil and Colombia, Brazil, unfortunately, but Brazil. So guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Please remember to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. Obviously these last predictions are just for fun, so don't get too carried away. And we have to still wait for more to see what's gonna be happening here in this World Cup. So hopefully guys you have enjoyed, and also please remember to check out my latest videos. They're all here on the channel. We have updating it every single day. And also please stay tuned for tomorrow, where we're gonna take a look at France versus Argentina and Uruguay versus Portugal. The round of 16 is here, and I cannot wait for them to start. So see you next one. Take care. Ciao.